Hi everyone, I am Robin from Western Mass. It is Sunday, what is today? January 10th, and this is the Morgellons conference call of the week. I want to welcome everyone. So I am the co-host of the show. I had battled and won the battle with Morgellons, mites, springtails, fleas, and bed bugs. Through Richard's protocols, his book, and this call, the support and help I got. And then, I got reinfected by unpacking stuff I had not disinfected. And I'm at the tail end of that, getting better all the time. But I am so grateful to be here. And if it wasn't for these protocols and the support and this call, I don't know what I would have done or how I would have survived it. So Richard is in the 10th edition of his book. He never stops learning, and as new information comes to light, he adds it. He researches, and we help him with that. We help him with the research. So, and he's here for us. You can email him questions during the week. You can email him up to 3 questions a day. He's here on this call to answer your questions, to share his experience and knowledge and encouragement. And I'm so grateful for this call. So at this point, I'd like to welcome Richard Kuhn, the author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites.
Thank you, Robin. It's a pleasure to be here. Love to be here every Sunday afternoon. This year is 2021, and we're very fortunate to have gotten this far because of this COVID situation, and it's important to treat each day as a gift. Look at it as a gift. Be with your loved ones. Do not hold back. You never know which day may be the last. So live each day to the very fullest. I've been infected with these organisms since the mid-90s. I've been communicating by emails with people and telephone, 22 years now. So I've picked up a lot of information, learned a lot from each and every one of you, and many gems have come along the way that have made it easier and easier for us to get our lives back. And the phenomenal, the fantastic, the wonderful, the great news is you can get your life back. Now, Robin shared her experience. She got hers back, and, well, it was pretty much record time. I think she was initially came into the program around February, and by, I think by Christmas she had a party in her house. That was before COVID. and she had many people, and there was no problem with being infectious or contagious.
It was great.
Isn't it? Oh, it's super to have your life back, isn't it? Man. And then, unfortunate things happen. Once you have these organisms, you are never immune from getting them again. So she opened up a Christmas box in the attic or whatever and got reinfected. And now this trek is taking her a bit longer. So you never can predict these organisms. And what's our subject for the day, Robin?
How to recognize when you are reinfested is our subject for the day.
That is if you have the skill to do that. In fact, as I shared, I've been emailing with people and communicating, and I have not found not one person who knew the immediate time that they were absolutely infected and knew to the degree. Yes, I knew when I pulled that vine down from the tree that something had fallen on me, but what did that mean? had no idea. I had no idea for the roller coaster ride I was in for. You know, I got a taste of it like 4 days later when me and my significant other at the same time, simultaneously, within minutes, started itching like crazy. I mean, it was phenomenal. We ran, I remember, we ran to that bathtub and we filled it with hot scalding water, and we took turns to get some kind of relief. It's fortunate that we thought of using a bathtub. I don't know what we had done if we had the thought of, you know, bathing and trying to get rid of it. So there was 4 days, and yeah, I knew I was infected, but I had no idea that it was going to take over my house, make me contagious, and interfere with the next 4 years of my life significantly until I discovered the diet and was on the path to getting my life back. So, and then, you know, so the first time you get infected and you know what you're dealing with, or you filled out the questionnaire and you got my education as to what you may be dealing with, I do not diagnose. No way, no diagnosis. In fact, there is no diagnostic test available for Morgellons or Colloidal or even mites. And every expert you speak with, every entomologist, every biologist, every doctor will tell you that mites don't live on man. Colloidal doesn't even have a mouth parts sufficient to do any biting or any havoc on man. And that, yeah, you might get infected by, you might walk down the street and in the summertime and you walk through a swarm of chiggers and, yeah, you get that feeling and you go home and you wash off and that's the end of it. But that's their claim. That's the end of it. They don't stay on your body for a very long period of time. So there is no diagnostic. We are in a field that is totally unknown. It was that way in the 90s, and it's still that way today. And if I project the future based on the past and I extrapolate, it's going to be this way for the next decade or so. So we're all in for a roller coaster. We learn together. We are here to support each other week after week. I send out emails. I'm available for answering your emails, and I come here on Sundays to share with you what we know. We don't know everything, and sometimes we may make mistakes. We are sharing to the extent that we know what we know today. Tomorrow, we may know more. Tomorrow, we may make an adjustment in what we thought we knew yesterday. So we learn about this day after day. But how do you know when you're infected? So once you're in the program and know that, yeah, you're dealing with what most likely is Morgellons, and that's characterized, according to Dr. Saverly in her book, Morgellons, litimation. Why did I mess up that word?
I can't even say anything today.
I usually get that word, legitimization of a disease. You know, I got that word right for the last 6 weeks. Anyway, bottom line, if you have filaments, she distinguishes them from fibers. Doctors say, well, that's a fiber from your couch. You know, all right. So a fiber gets embedded in your skin. How does that happen? From your couch or from your clothing. So she calls them filaments. And they can be somewhat microscopic in nature. You may need a 30-power scope to actually see them. There are various colors. They're generally fluorescent. They can range in size. Some of them describe them as long and moving. And I mean, I guess the variations of size and colors with these filaments and fibers made of keratin and collagen are basically infinite. But that characterizes what she defines as Morgellons. So I don't diagnose you. I only, if you have those things, that's what she says you have. I educate you. Now, so once you know what you're dealing with, and you're on the King diet, and you're keeping your diary, and now you get to a point that thing goes smoothly for you, and you're doing everything that you're doing, you'll be amazed. gosh, you say, gee, you know, I got through the whole day and there was hardly any discomfort. There was no itching, no biting. This is phenomenal.
Richard, what kind of diary? When you say diary, is it like Dear Diary?
Your personal diary. Not where you divulge your love life or your secret ambitions, but the diary of, okay, I got up at 7:15, I had dinner, I had breakfast at 7:30, this is what I ate. I had scrambled eggs, and I had black coffee, and then 20 minutes later you make another entry as to how you're feeling. And you would write in, I did a scale of 0 to 6. 0 if I felt absolutely no activity whatsoever. 6 if I was being driven out of my mind with activity and itching and biting. And I regarded 0 to 0.5 in my mind as, hey, that's pretty good. I'm doing well. So that's a diary, writing down everything you eat and noticing how you feel afterwards. You can get into your goals for the day and what you hope to accomplish, and you can add in what you disinfected and what you have yet to disinfect tomorrow. You can set up a disinfection diary as well, so you miss nothing, because it is important that you miss nothing. You don't want to miss that Christmas box. You don't want to miss it, because so when you're in the program, you know when there's activity, but after a few weeks, you'll be on cloud 9. Really. Little if any activity, 0 activity. And yeah, you're never cured. Don't get that thought in your mind. You're never cured. You always want to be on the alert. You always want to have your ears up. And you want to watch for reinfection, usually from the environment if your diet is right on cue. And if you catch it right away from the environment, like maybe you take something out of your drawer that you haven't worn for maybe a year or so, and it's infected, and you put it on. You might notice a little movement or whatever, and if you ignore that and don't deal with it right away, it could cost you months of a backslide.
Absolutely.
So you want to be very much aware of your skin, very much in tune with what your skin feels like on almost a minute-to-minute basis. And like I said, you get to the point where you almost forget that you had the problem, because life can be that sweet. Life is that sweet. For me, after I had gotten my life back, outside around the swing next to the fish pond, it seemed that we had marauding raccoons for a while, taking advantage of our fish, and I think one of them was infected and was eating the fish under the swing. And so I could go out there and sit, maybe for 2 hours and feel nothing. I would come in, sit down, feel nothing. Not much of anything. Or if I felt something, I thought, oh, well, I'll just apply a little of the mouthwash or whatever. It'll go away. And that was a big mistake. I wasn't aggressive. And then it would be a backslide that would cost me several weeks. So as soon as you feel anything, you need to jump into high gear like you are. You need to be as aggressive as you can possibly be. Otherwise, instead of it only taking 15 or 20 minutes of being aggressive, it could take weeks or months to get to that point back to where you were. That's how vicious and how fast and how virulent these organisms are. Anything you'd like to add to that, Robin?
Yeah, so when I got reinfected, I had been clear for quite a while, and I forgot what it was like. And the first thing that happened was I got one little bite on my leg, and I was like, wonder what that's from. and then, oh no, it's like, where did my brain go? And then I found a couple of really teeny tiny little black dots in my bed. And I thought, those can't be anything. They're too tiny because... So I literally ignored them to my detriment. And, you know, and then I got sick with COVID, and it was months and months before I could do anything, and by then my whole house was infested. So now, as I'm in my battle again, like my skin is 98% clear. I get infested again as I attack different places in my house, but I don't even feel it. That's the thing. It's like the other day I was doing something in the downstairs bathroom, and when I'm cleaning like that, or disinfecting, I say cleaning, but I mean disinfecting, I instantly went in, took a bath, a shower, covered my body with lotion, and I haven't had anything coming out of my skin. But that day, after just spending an hour in an infected area, I had, I don't want to say hundreds, but tens and tens, maybe hundreds of mites on me. They hadn't burrowed deep, and I had no bites, and I didn't even feel them. But I instantly cleared my skin, you know. And I'm also, it's interesting. So that's the environmental part, but then there's the diet part. So I'm in between stage 2 and 3 right now on the diet, and I know it's wonderful. I tell you, I really don't want to go back. But if I can eat potato chips, I can eat popcorn. But if I eat it 3 days in a row, I get the little white cotton ball things in your eyes. I get itchy. You know, it's like you have to use your brain. It's like I get so excited about, you know, it's hard to eat a food once a week. It really is, because you buy it and there's more of it. Right? So, but if you don't, you know, then you're dealing with a mild body infestation, which can affect your environment if you're not careful. So that's my most recent experience. But yeah, it's a vigilant battle. It is. It is, and when that happens, you just go backwards a step, you know.
Yes, I get emails all the time. I was doing great until and then it's like, okay, starting the motor up again. Okay, Richard, what do I do first? And there's the book. There's the book.
I know.
So
yeah.
Yes, if anybody would like to text in your experiences to Robin, or text in to Chris, or call him, please do so. We'd like to hear about how you have dealt with being reinfected, and how you got your life back again. Anyone like to share on that? Please do. Text in.
I do have a couple of questions, but they aren't about people who have actually gotten their life back.
Well, okay, we can handle them right now, and maybe in the meantime somebody will text in some of their experiences on that. Before we get into these questions, again, as always, we need to do the FDA disclosures for your protection and the AMA disclosures for your protection. The FDA requires that I inform you that I am not a doctor. Robin, neither is Chris, neither is Ethel, neither is Sandra or Barbara. Our coaches, we're not doctors, we're not medically trained. And before you start the King Diet or accept any of our recommendations that we may share with you by phone or email, that you are to consult with your doctor to make sure that the diet, the King Diet, and any of our recommendations do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. Now, the AMA, the American Medical Association, and the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, also require me to inform you that none of us, Ethel, Robin, me, Chris, Barbara, Sandra, we are not here to treat, to diagnose you, to cure, or mitigate any skin condition or disease. So what are we here for? Well, the one thing that we're allowed to do is to educate. So the goal, our purpose, our sole purpose of being here is to educate you through information on how to clean them out of your environment. That's a biggie. Get them out of your environment. Get them out of your skin. Through bathing, creams, lotions. Get them out of your body. Because, as I learned very early on, I was a walking, talking, breathing machine. And as long as I was eating everything that I was eating, that included the sugars and the refined foods and things of that nature, I was breathing them, and wherever I went, I was shedding them. So, educate you on how to get them out of your body, and then how to build your health and immune functioning through the various targeted supplements. Now, this program we do every Sunday is not a sales pitch for the products we have in our store. Our products are lauded as the best in the industry, but you can find the same, well, you can't find the same things, but if you can look elsewhere when it comes to the diet. You can look for supplements all day long, but make sure they have no ingredients that are not on the diet, because if you have just one capsule that's made of glycerin instead of veggie caps, you got problems. If you have a capsule that's got fennel in it, you got problems. So you need, if you're looking for other supplements, you need to be darn certain that the ingredients are not incompatible. It's taken me years to find these supplements, lots of research. So as far as soaps go, use whatever you like. You can do what I did. I used, as I shared, my significant other and myself, we started with scalding baths. Just be careful that you don't faint or have, and make sure you don't get dehydrated like I did one time and almost fall. So you can use 5 cups of borax, for instance. So we're not here to sell you on what we have, but we will refer to the things that we do use from time to time in our discussions, because they're what we're familiar with and they're what works for many, many people. So what are the questions?
Okay, I have a number of questions, actually.
Oh, great.
So the first one, hold on, I have to find them.
Chris, you want to give your number again? Chris?
The first one is from Victor. Now, this will be an easy one. He says he's been following you for a while, Richard, and thanks for your help and support. Both he and his wife have crawling, itching, and pricking for 6.5 years, but no other symptoms that they can see, no lesions, and they don't see the fibers, but I do want to inject that the fibers can be so tiny that you wouldn't notice them. He wants to know, do you think we have Morgellons or something else? He says we've used some of your protocols and some of your products. So it doesn't sound like he's totally
into it.
Yeah.
Kind of skirting on the edge.
So I can make a couple of comments, and then you could take over if you like.
Well, you can tell him how to determine if he's dealing with Morgellons, how to find the fibers, the test that you go through. So go ahead and share that. Okay, so if the fibers can be very hard to see, and one great way to confirm that for sure, and actually, I didn't have fibers. I didn't see the fibers for a very long time with Morgellons, but you take a shower and you wash with one of the Nature's Gift soaps or any kind of a debriding soap, and you rinse off, and then you use, I prefer the Nature's Gift debriding soap. You put it all over your body and let it air dry, and then you take a lint roller, roll it on your body, and look at that lint roller under a strong magnifying glass, and you will see the fibers.
if you have Morgellons, which may not show up to the naked eye. They can be very tiny. So that's one part of your question.
And another telltale sign is, even if you can't see them, another question on the questionnaire is, do you find lint-like or lint-like substance in your bedding and clothing? And invariably, as tiny as these things are, they do accumulate into a lint-like substance that shows up in your bedding and clothing for no reason at all. So that's another telltale thing that you look for.
Right.
This is Chris. Here's my number again: 732-272-7952. 732-272-7952. Thank you.
We encourage you to text him or call him so that we can open the lines up to you and hear you personally.
And the other thing is that if you're not on the diet, honestly, in my opinion, nothing will work, because the diet starts to starve them out of your body. And I don't think you can get relief. You can't fight back your environment or anything unless your body has quieted them down so that you can deal with the environment and the other stuff. So when you say we've tried some protocols and bought some products, you may not be using the products correctly. You may not be doing the diet at all. You didn't mention that, Victor. So I really suggest, when we give coaching numbers later on, maybe you should consider talking to a coach in depth and getting more information about what you can do. That might help.
Yeah, that's a good point. I had a lady email me this morning. She was anxious about getting her first supply of debriding soap. Like she's going to be missing out on something if she doesn't. She ordered it on Friday, and Chris hasn't even sent it out yet because we closed Friday. And the point is, the debriding soap is fantastic, but there's so much you can do before then. The diet. Chapter 3, that alone starts kicking things in. Once that diet kicks in and is effective, then it's incredible. You can start Chapter 3 with Chapter 3 with disinfection. Chapter 4 was the diet, disinfecting your surroundings. So there are so many things you can do to get the ball rolling, so that when you get that debriding soap, it's just like icing on top of the cake. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't have that.
Well, stage 3.
Stage 3. Oh, stop rubbing it in. Stop rubbing it in.
I do want to say that the diet, it's so easy to make mistakes. Everyone says, I'm on the diet. I'm perfect on the diet. I thought I was perfect on the diet when I first started, and for 2 months, I was eating stevia that had sugars in it. So the diet did not kick in at all. You have to read every label. Even salt can have sugar in it. You can't use some people can't even use rice bran oil initially. Their bodies are so hypersensitive. And everyone's a little bit different. So, if you can't eat rice or you can't eat rice bran oil, it doesn't mean the diet won't work. Maybe you have to be a little bit stricter at first and figure it out. But the diet always works when you work it.
I always say, don't try the diet, do the diet. And about 3 weeks ago, Andrea from Chicago found out, yes, she cannot have rice bran oil. She can't have butter even at this point. But she's making the diet work. She's working around it. So it's important that you make the diet work.
Right.
But for 99% of the people, it works just as it is. It's phenomenal.
Right. So I couldn't eat rice at first. The only rice I found that I could eat was basmati rice, believe it or not.
I love basmati.
I love basmati rice. So that's I think that'll always be a staple of my diet.
And the vegans, yes.
Right, the vegans.
Yeah, the vegans, what do you eat? Well, rice has got a lot of protein. And I do have an update scheduled to go out soon about how to adjust the diet for vegans, and it is mainly, you know, turning to rice. And our vegan consultant also did bend the rules and go to butter, real butter as well.
Right. Right. That's a big issue. Okay, so I don't know. Here's a question. This is I don't know who this is from, but I'm between stage 1 and 2 of the diet, which is great. Congratulations. And I'm worried I might have to get rid of my pet birds that I've had for 11 years. What would I do to help treat the birds is what I believe this person is asking. I don't know how to treat birds, so I mean, you can give birds baths. You probably could go to a vet and anything that works with fleas or bird mites. Bird mites are pretty common, and I'm sure they have some kind of treatment that would also help with Morgellons.
Definitely diatomaceous earth, the food-grade diatomaceous earth. You want to get it in under the wings of the bird and have the diatomaceous earth in the cage so that any organisms that are in there are going to be destroyed and not reinfect the bird. As far, I think the bird feed is necessary, important. You want to, I don't know what bird, I'm not familiar with bird feed, but you want to make sure that there's not additives in there that are not on the diet that we have, and that if you can, the birds eat seeds, and seeds can be a problem if the birds got Morgellons. So I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But I know that vets are familiar with bird mites and bird parasites. So I would ask a vet, because anything that treats those things usually helps with Morgellons.
If you get the answer, let us know. Write me, and I'd sure like to pass it along, because you are part of our research team. You
Absolutely.
know, 8-9 years ago, somebody wrote me and said she had a kennel of dogs, and I said, get rid of them. You know, I've been proven wrong. Like I said before, what I share is the state of what I know right now, and tomorrow I may be totally proven wrong about something. So pets do not have to be something that you have to get rid of. We learn as we go along. So you have the answer, please share it, and we all learn from that.
Right. Right. I have another question here. This person says, hey guys, first off I want to say that it's an honor to talk to you, and thank you for all that you do for everyone suffering from this horrible disease. They're looking for your opinion on using potassium iodine drops for Candida and other infections. Although I know that lufeneron works great for Candida, and I think everyone should have iron drops in their diet. But so this person was watching a guy on YouTube. He got over Morgellons, but he found out he had, now I don't know, sporotrichosis, which also causes filaments, and they said they remember in your book that Candida can cause Morgellons, which I don't think is
okay,
true.
let me address a few of these things. So, okay, first of all, Candida will not cause Morgellons or contribute to Morgellons. Candida, as well as other fungal organisms, can be a cofactor and be a big problem. When we're dealing with Candida, the King diet is the supreme anti-Candida diet that ever exists. The only modification to make in the King diet is to take out white rice. You take out white rice and you have a diet that is even stricter than the Candida diet. You're limited to lemon juice and what's the other one? Lime, lemon and lime. Right. So there are no fruits there. The grains that you have are millet, spelt. You may minimize the amount of grains that you take in general, but these grains are certainly different than the processed grain of wheat that you're going to get in the grocery store. So Candida can be a significant factor. There are two approaches in terms of one, medication. The long-standing approach is to use lefiniran. It's when you get my protocol, if you complete the questionnaire, and it's also already listed in the book. If you just search for the word lefiniran, you'll eventually run upon it in the book. But you order it from Mexico, and you take the lefiniran 96 days, 1 capsule a day, with a pat of butter or some oil, rice bran oil, to make it work. The other thing about fungal organisms, whether it be Candida or anything else, is that we have the kinase enzymes in the store. The kinase enzymes break down the chitin, which are instrumental in the fungal organisms continuing to thrive. The lefiniran inhibits the production of chitin. So
could you spell that?
Chitin, C-H-I-T-I-N. Chitin, C-H-I-T-I-N. And lefiniran is L-U-F-E-N-U-R-O-N. And so lefiniran inhibits the future production of chitin. Now, chitin is also the substance of which the shells of eggs are comprised. So it's like the mite can lay the egg, but the shell won't harden, so it's not going to hatch. So that lefiniran has two purposes in that sense. Now, the kinase enzymes go after the existing chitin. So lefiniran does not affect existing Candida or existing fungal organisms. It only blocks the production of future ones. The kinase enzymes go after the existing fungal Candida. We just added calcium diclex to the store a couple of weeks ago. Calcium diclex also inhibits the replication of fungal organisms. It inhibits all fungal organisms have what are called hyphae. They're like a root that sucks the nutrients out of whatever the fungal organism is infecting, whether it's your big toe or your stomach or growing on a wall. They all have hyphae. It sucks the nutrient out that feeds it. So the calcium diclex inhibits the production of fungal organisms growing that way. So we have two ways of inhibiting the future production. There's lefiniran and the calcium diclex. The calcium diclex formula also has sorbitol, not ascorbic, a sorbitol, which is good for the stomach and building good gut flora. So those are two powerful supplements that we have in the store. Now, what was the other part? That other part of the question got into the first part of the question?
I got to find it again.
When can I?
No, that's a different. I have so many questions here now. I lost it.
Okay, while you're looking, I have 9579 and 5130 line open. 9579 and 5130. Your lines are open. You can ask a question.
Okay.
Okay, one of those
Hi.
is me, and can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. My question was that I've had this for about a month, or a little bit more than a month, and I don't have any bumps anymore or sores, but I do have the threads coming out of my skin. So I was wondering what you could tell me about that. Does that mean that I'm on my way to healing, or it's a light
Well,
infection?
if you have threads coming out, first of all, not everybody is affected to the same degree with Morgellons. Some people are very dramatically affected, and others are minimally affected. And often this happens in the same household. Like one spouse might be dramatically affected, usually the wife. I don't know why. It seems to be more of a woman's thing. And the husband minimally affected. But both of her infected and need to be dealing with it. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe months from now it may get worse. So just because you no longer have the bumps, okay, we can say that's great. It seems like you're in the right progress, but you want to get, do you have any itching or any biting sensations?
Yes, I'm having different kinds of sensations now, like stinging and strawberry patches that are not.
Okay. Yeah, you want to complete the questionnaire that was attached to the email that went out. Send it in to me. I'll evaluate it. I'll give you the educated assessment of it, educate you in that regard, and provide you with detailed recommendations as to what would be your path.
Okay. Is that questionnaire just named a questionnaire so I can search for it in my email?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an attachment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great.
Somebody, yes.
Yeah, this is Desi.
Hi, Desi.
Desiree from down south.
Yes.
Desiree from down south.
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, hi. Basically, I'm loving this is the second, third call. I didn't believe it, but I started a diet, then I failed, like Carol, somebody had mentioned I was doing stevia with sugar in it, so I went and got the green. Anyway, I want to know all these things on my clothes. Do I need to throw everything away, buy new, and then?
No, but you need to disinfect.
And I woke up with them on my mouth. I woke up with mites on my mouth after taking a long bath with Ibuclens and Dr. Teal's and everything, and soaked my feet.
Well, first of all, you don't have to throw out all your clothing, but you do want to disinfect them in the laundry. There is rather extensive protocol. The ultimate would be to put your clothing as you launder them into a tub, a tote that you can put a top on, and this is Robin's invention. Put 2 inches of ammonia in the bottom. Now I would add to that, put something in there so that the clothing doesn't actually go in the ammonia, but like a screen or something. It's the fumes that you want to use, and you can keep that the clothing in that tote for a couple of hours. Would you say longer, Robin, or a couple of hours sufficient?
Yeah, a couple hours should be okay, but I mean, I would often do it overnight.
Yeah, you could do it overnight.
Okay.
Then put them
dirty clothes in and then wash them in the morning.
Then put them in the washing machine. You can add another cup or cup and a half of ammonia in the washing machine. Put in borax. You can put in clove oil. Usually mites do not like clove oil. So wash it and then put them in the dryer, and make sure that when you put them in the dryer that you add in maybe a half a cup or a third of a cup of ammonia onto a towel or something to absorb it, and you can put in the bounce. You can actually saturate the bounce thing in ammonia. You can add in peppermint to the ammonia. You can get fancy. There are a lot of oils that you can put in with the ammonia and dry it. Some people, when they take it out, need to put it into plastic bags and have it sealed. So this is like the ultimate. So I'm not saying you have to do it, but this is like the ultimate. So if you put them into plastic bags and seal it, you could put in some menthol crystals with it.
The thing about the plastic bags is that if it's thin plastic, whatever you have will just seep through it. It has to be either like 2 to 3 millimeter plastic. Ziploc freezer bags are pretty thick. If you're going to use garbage bags, you can use the garbage bags, but they're not airtight. You would have to seal them with duct tape, and that only works for clothes and things that you're not going to open. for a long time.
So you need a pretty good plastic bag, not just an ordinary garbage bag.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, so that's the ultimate, and you shouldn't have to throw your clothing out.
Right.
Okay.
And sometimes you may have to, if your clothes are really thick and infested, you know, you can tell when you pull them out of the dryer and you clean the lint thing, you're going to see little white and little black dots. So I would rewash the clothes until they come out of the dryer clean.
And one other thing.
The you have that stuff. What is it called? The
antimicrobial.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to put that in your washing machine. 4 ounces of the Surface Guard 90 antimicrobial for every 12 pounds of clothing. You only have to treat the clothing.
Can I get that from your store?
Yes, it's in the store. It's a one-time treatment. You don't have to repeat it. One-time treatment.
Okay.
It helps them stay clean.
What is it called?
Surface Guard 90 antimicrobial.
Surface Guard. Who can I check later?
Surface Guard 90 antimicrobial. Now you can spray that antimicrobial on any surfaces. It will destroy any virus or bacteria that come in contact with it, or even fungal organisms. So you can spray it anywhere, and it will last, say on a countertop, it'll last for months. On a doorknob, it'll last for months as well.
But you have to have the surface clean before you spray it if you want.
Yeah, you don't want to put it on a grimy surface.
Right.
Thank you so much.
I found the question that you had asked me what the second part was. It was about sporotrichosis, which also causes filaments.
Well, that is
potassium iodine.
That is a wonderful question. Now, this is why we have email. And this is why when you email me a question, it might take me 24 hours or longer to get back to you. I need to do research, and I am willing to do research. So please email me, because your questions allow me to learn, and we both learn. Now, with the potassium iodide, we have in the store what's called super potassium iodide. Now, there's regular potassium iodide that they use that you can take in tablet form to protect yourself from the radiation coming from the Japanese radioactive nuclear reactor and things of that nature for your thyroid gland. But in the store we have super potassium iodide, which has also been used to work with Morgellons, and it refers you to a YouTube video that gives you more information.
I have many, many questions here.
Great.
So I think I will start at the bottom and work my way up. Okay, give me a second. Oh, Teresa wants to know what's the benefit of Garcillin 2 in conjunction with lufeneron and chitosanase enzymes.
Okay, there are two different animals really. The chitinase enzymes and the lufeneron are really specifically about dealing with fungal organisms. The Garcillin is basically an all-around. Now, I can't make any claims about this, but I can educate you. If you look it up in Wikipedia, it's acillin is derived from garlic, and it's not typical like you find in garlic supplements like Crolic. Those supplements were figured out years ago before they discovered how to capture the acillin, because as soon as you open up a garlic clove, within minutes the acillin is deteriorated. So researchers in the UK figured out how to get the equivalent of 35 cloves of garlic's worth of acillin into this one capsule. And Wikipedia says it's an antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal, anti-parasitic, and antiprotozoan. It's very powerful. it has replaced the need for colloidal silver. Colloidal silver also touts those same claims as being everything. But we have colloidal silver also available in the store, so you have your pick. Our colloidal silver is 12 parts per million, which is the same as sovereign silver, which is the top of the line colloidal silver on the market. We probably have people ordering 300 to 1 Garcillin compared to colloidal silver. Colloidal silver is tremendously valuable for eye problems and things of that nature, or you can put it onto a lesion as well. So there, it has many applications. You can even spray your underarm with it and use it as a natural deodorant. And please, nobody ever use antiperspirants. They have aluminum in them. Only use deodorants. They do not have aluminum. Okay, anything else?
Yes. Who is this from? I don't know who this is from, but this person has mites on their face. What can they do?
Well, be aggressive. First of all, the King diet. Without that diet, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. The next thing, it's pretty straightforward. I would use the mouthwash / body wipe. That is a powerful, it has concentrated nature's gift, cinnamon, peppermint, and ionic minerals. And the ionic minerals feed the skin. In fact, our coral calcium ionic minerals, they are so powerful that, like, for instance, you could, if you have a lesion, you could put them in a Band-Aid along with the nature's gift. You could use either or both, and goodbye lesion, goodbye. They're that powerful. But I would be aggressive. I would apply it. I would get the, we have eye cream if they're around the eyes. We have several different kinds of creams, any one or more. So we have the rigorous.
Richard,
yes.
You told a protocol one time about using either Claudia's Dream Cream or the debriding cream, rubbing it in really hard into your face, then wiping it off with the body wash, mouthwash, and then doing it again like 3 times.
Right, you can do that with any of these creams. You can take the regular debriding cream, which is basically shea butter, coconut oil, and nature's gift. You can use our revitalization cream, which is a salon-grade cream. You can use our exfoliant cream. You can use any of these creams. You can add in, I mean, I don't see why these mites are not kind of cleaned out. You can make your own cream of a mixture. The key is to massage it in, and then you can use like the body wipe or the to apply that. So you wet your face, you massage in the cream, you wet your face again either with water or the mouthwash / body wipe. It'll get white because it's not all into your skin yet. So then you massage in your skin again until the whiteness goes away. You keep doing this until there's no whiteness that appears. You know it's all the way in, and it's amazing. If you use like the exfoliant cream, it will extract crystals. It'll pull anything out. It's amazing. But you don't want to do it just once a week. How often do you want to do it?
Every half hour if it's really bad.
Yeah, really bad. You want to be very aggressive, every half hour or so, and then let it trail off to every hour, and then right, and then when you don't see anything or feel anything, do it again and again. Right.
All right, I have Lee has multiple questions here. So
only one this week. He has to come back next week to ask the others.
Okay, well,
I'm kidding.
Let's see. They are in her shoes and purse? Let's start with that one.
Oh, that one's easy, right? You can put in two options. You can put in the menthol crystals in your shoes and in your purse and put them in a Ziploc bag and let them sit overnight, ideally perhaps even
or a
longer.
week or two.
Yeah, as long as you can possibly do it. So
Make a spray. Make a spray out of either enzyme cleaner or Nature's Gift. Anytime you wear your shoes, you're going to wipe the bottoms, especially with ammonia, spray and wipe them off, and then you can put the crystals in them. You can also put diatomaceous earth directly in them, and you can put diatomaceous earth in your shoes before you wear them, but then when you take off your shoes, you're going to leave little white footprints everywhere.
I know you. You've been here. we caught you.
Yeah, exactly.
You were by the cookie jar.
Oh, not the cookie jar. And for your purses, what I did was I had like 3 pocketbooks. I would wipe them down with ammonia or cleaning enzyme, and I'd put them in a heavy Ziploc bag with either menthol crystals or Nuvon strips, and I would rotate them monthly so that if it got infested, I'd have a clean one to start fresh with, and that helped a lot.
Now, Nuvon strips are a pesticide kind of thing.
Solid pesticide, and you know, you don't want to handle them with your hands. They work best in tiny enclosed spaces. That's why you don't want to breathe them, but they work great in Ziploc bags for shoes and purses and even hanging clothes if they're in a hanging Ziploc thing.
And you can also spray everything with the antimicrobial as well. That would be a good extra protection.
Oh, that is good. That's a good idea, yeah.
Spell what you're talking about?
You can mix the antimicrobial with the enzymes or any of the disinfectants. You don't have to spray them individually. You can mix these things.
Right. Okay, her ears, nose, and mouth are fully infested.
What wasn't that this morning's update that went out? Yeah. Wow. This morning's update. Everything that you want to know is in this morning's update that went out. Ears, nose, lungs even are infested. So, yes, please read this morning's update. With the lungs, we've learned a lot from Robin's experience with COVID-19 using a nebulizer and putting in essential oils and Nature's Gift. There's some kind of pot, I forget what it's called, that Ethel had shared that she used. That's also, you can get it from Amazon.
Neti pot.
Is that the one she used as a neti pot? I'm not sure, but
probably.
Yeah, that's there. You can set that out in your environment. It has different light settings. It has different timer on it. Everything.
Infuser.
It's an infuser. Yes.
Infuser.
Yes. So you want to tell them how you use that?
Actually, it has a reservoir, and it's about a cup of water in the reservoir, and maybe about 3 or 4 drops of the clove oil, and it makes a nice plume of vapor, and you're able to, according to the literature, do not inhale this for more than 10 minutes in a day. And it helps rather than putting the clove oil directly into the nose, which it might, it does burn. So this is a way of getting the clove oil in, and it's more gentle. And it also makes your area, and it's cute. I sent a link that maybe Richard will attach where you can go and see it. It looks like a little chimenea.
Yes, it's in the update. The link was published, and the first order comes with a whole bunch of essential oils, I believe, small quantities.
It does, yeah.
And what?
It's
can
really
you send the link again? Because I got kicked off the mailing list for a few weeks by accident, and I missed it.
Oh, you're not back on? I put you back on.
Oh, I am, but I didn't see that link.
It went out this morning.
Oh, okay, then I have it. I haven't
Yeah.
checked email today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that gets it into your nose that you can breathe through your mouth. It's going to get it in your mouth and into your lungs. And wow, goodbye. I mean, you can also use cotton balls and saturate them with some Nature's Gift and put them into your nose for a while. You can do that as well.
Yep. Let's see. Who is this? Jennifer uses, if she doesn't have the mouthwash, she uses hydrogen peroxide to rinse her mouth.
That's great. Hydrogen peroxide is great. You know, we're coming out with a new toothpaste. For 4 years, I've been looking at making a toothpaste and haven't been able to figure out how to pack it. And where can I get toothpaste tubes? And dummy me never thought you could just put them in. We're going to put them in little round containers. Yeah, they're great. They're better than the stupid toothpaste tubes.
Yeah.
We'll be coming out with them this week. It's based on baking soda, peppermint, cinnamon, ionic minerals, and eggshells.
Nice. Nice.
We
and
had
the other thing,
yes.
You can make a mixture with, well, tea tree, peppermint, or clove oil. You can put it under your nose. You can take a Q-tip and put it in your ears. You can put it around your hairline, because when they get in your face, 9 times out of 10 they're coming from your hair. And then that leads to, you know, hair treatment, which is in the blog, and it's a very involved, and actually Ethel could share with us a little bit about hair treatment.
You want that now?
Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me light up my screen here. All right, for the scalp treatment, make a mixture in the palm of your hand with some Nature's Gift shampoo, the regular or foaming, and some of the Super MSM gel, some Claudia's Dream Cream, and a few drops of peppermint or clove or whatever oil you like. As Richard said earlier, the mites don't like the clove oil. And take everything and mix it up and then rub it into your scalp.
Massage it in.
Yeah, massage it into your scalp. And you want to keep your scalp wet, moist with this mixture. Put on a swimming cap. Keep it on overnight. Get up in the morning. Wash your hair with, the shampoo, and do this over again. And just continue to do this as many times a day as you can, and you will start seeing a decrease, and you can decrease the times of treatment. But just as a maintenance, I would do it, every few days. So if there's someone who's going to need this written out, you can email me, and I can give the email later on, and I can send this to you.
What do we do with pillows and back and headrest?
Another thing, please put some Vaseline around the hairline. Robin gave this suggestion a few weeks ago, and that way it will keep the organisms as well as the solution from drifting down into your face. It will keep them contained in the scalp.
Yes.
And if you're going to go out somewhere and you still have your hair wet, you can put on some kind of cute little cap. They have really nice cancer caps that are on Amazon and other sites where you can get those, and they look really nice.
They're adorable.
Yeah, they're called cancer caps. If you didn't get what she said, cancer caps is what they're called.
And they're washable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of different...
Make sure any headrests or pillows are sealed in plastic and disinfected, so you don't want to
Ziploc,
get
zippered plastic pillow covers.
That goes for the headrest in the automobile too.
And the mattress and the box spring.
Right.
And you know what I have discovered? So, where I am, it's really cold. I mean, like today the wind chill was 10 degrees. At least it's above 0. But So when you have to wash everything every day and you have to have heavy blankets, that's really hard. What I got was a weighted blanket and a zippered vinyl mattress cover. I put the weighted blanket in the mattress cover, and then I just got a duvet cover to put on top, which is so much easier to wash than a blanket.
Yeah, way.
The blanket is protected in the zippered vinyl cover, and the duvet cover I just take off and wash every day. It's so much easier, and I get to have a nice snuggly blanket. So there's that also. And Carmen from Phoenix, Arizona says, just as an aside, they hate it when she eats chili. I'm assuming you mean chili peppers, right? Because they don't like spicy, hot things. But, all right, here's another question from Jennifer. Do you have to consume diatomaceous earth if you've been on Fenben for a few months? And how long should you take it? I don't know if you mean how long should you take the Fenben or the diatomaceous earth. And can we believe it's detoxing our body if we don't see any organisms when we are moving our bowels?
Well, you won't probably see any organisms ever in the bowels unless you use a microscope and examine them. The diatomaceous earth, if you're using Fenben, I wouldn't think that you also need the diatomaceous earth. I order them as diatomaceous earth first, then consuming the mouthwash, and then upping the game to use Fenben. So if you're using Fenben, you probably don't need either the diatomaceous earth or to even swallow or consume the mouthwash.
But Fenben is a drug, and the mouthwash and the diatomaceous earth are probably gentler and can be used over a longer period of time.
Well, there's going to be a time
right?
that you're going to come off of the Fenben, and if you've been on a couple of rounds, you probably should be coming off. I don't know if there's any deleterious effects of Fenben. You'd have to Google it. You know, people have said they're afraid of it or whatever, but I've looked and talked to our doctor about it, and he's not aware of any. So Fenben's a pretty benign medication, very much like Lefiniran is.
Okay. Last question from about cats. She, who is this? I lost it, but she has 2 cats that are infested. I wanted to just mention a couple of things because, you know, Lefiniran for pets used to be called Program, and that company went out of business. And now they sell it as actual Lefiniran, and this is a company called LittleCityDogs.com. Can you see that? LittleCityDogs.com.
Yeah.
And there's other places, but it's not expensive, and they're chicken-flavored tablets, pills that you can open up and you put in your pet's food once a month. But they have this other capsule. It's called Antiperspirants, and this is similar to the chitosanase enzymes in what it does. And adults, people can take it. They have it for dogs 90 pounds and over, but they also have it for cats and small dogs. And that you can take as often as every 3 or 4 days. And it also helps a lot, especially for your cat. And in addition, you want to give them flea dip baths, which we have talked about many times on the call. And you can call me for a detailed protocol.
Sure.
Or you can look it up on the blog. I believe it's on the blog as well. Again, the stuff that's similar to chitosanase enzymes is called Antiperspirants, Nitenpyram capsules. The people who make Lefiniran sent me samples to try for me, and I've been giving it also to my cat. My cat's been really good for months, but he's even better now. So there's that. And I just wanted to throw that in there. Also, okay, this is from Shanine.
Well, before we move on, I think we want to talk about using diatomaceous earth in the bedding.
Right. I forgot.
And having them eat food that is as close to the king diet as possible. What food you found? Food, right? What is the? Is it Rachel Ray?
The food that I found. No, I'd have to go look at the name, but it's something regional red, and it's made from. They have it for different regions, and it's made from real like fish and meat, and there's no fillers and there's no grains, and it's great cat food. And there's also a freeze-dried food, which is like real food that you chop up and add water to. So that's what I feed my cat. Yes, and nitin pyram is also for scabies, which would then work for mites as well. So it's very helpful that way.
Is that nitrin?
So can I move to the next question?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is from Shanine. She said, so I can't hang up my clothes. Well, you can hang up your clothes, but they'll get reinfested unless you cover them, if your house is totally infested. Diatomaceous earth in shoes won't affect your health. If you get food-grade diatomaceous earth, as long as you're not breathing the dust, it's great. You can sprinkle it around the edges of rooms. You put it on your pet's bed. You put it in your shoes. You can even pat it on your body, as long as you're not breathing dust.
Now, with the diatomaceous earth, instead of going around dusting like I did many years ago, if you go on the diatomaceous earth site, they suggest that what you can do is put several tablespoons in a 32-ounce spray bottle, maybe 4 tablespoons, and then add water to that. And if you wanted to, you could put in some of the disinfectants that we have as well. Could be Benefect or Mediclean, or even the antimicrobial. You could do that as well, and shake it up, and then spray lightly. You want to spray very lightly because you can't see the diatomaceous earth when it's wet. But if you do more than 2 or 3 sprays at the same spot, you're going to have a big accumulation of white when it dries.
Right, and diatomaceous earth has a lot of benefits. I mean, you can ingest it, and it helps do a cleanse in your body.
It's a mineral. It's silica. Now,
yeah.
Dr. Carzu in California, who's no longer in business, claimed that silica causes Morgellons, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a myth.
Nah. Yeah. Okay, next question is, what is menthol crystals, and how do they work? And I just want to say they are at Richard's store.
It's a crystal. It's like mothballs, except mothballs are no good. They're dangerous. Not that you want to breathe these, but you don't want to use mothballs. They don't really work. So the menthol crystals are on the order of mothballs, but a much better for you and more effective.
Right.
They come in a 14-ounce bag, I think. And they're crystals.
Yeah, and you just sprinkle them in the bag. Also, what about in the car?
Well, the car is a challenge for everybody. Now, number one, I'd spray the solution I just talked about with diatomaceous earth and the disinfectants or whatever. Spray everywhere. Spray under the console. Spray under the dashboard. Spray the carpet. Spray the console. Spray the door. Spray everything. Spray the headliner. Everything in there. The backrest. The seatbelt. Everything gets sprayed. That's step one.
When you spray, turn on the car and have the air blowing so it circulates whatever you spray
it into the so that the ductwork gets it. Number 2, in the book is described a triple pesticide, so that would be the next level of attack. If A doesn't work, go to B. The triple pesticide is really 3 ingredients: onslaught, exponent, and IGR mixed together, and you spray that every 11 days. The next step beyond that would be to treat with ozone. So you put the ozone generator in the car and let it run. They don't recommend it more than 15 minutes. Robin does it forever, but it could damage. It could damage your wiring. Ozone deteriorates plastics, and so don't tell me that your car doesn't run anymore because you ran the ozone generator overnight. You know, do not do that. So, and then the next step up would be to use the electrostatic sprayer. But with the electrostatic sprayer, you cannot use diatomaceous earth because it will clog the nozzle. But you could use the Metaclean or the Benefect or the antimicrobial, the enzymes, any of this you can use in the electrostatic sprayer. The electrostatic sprayer is about 10 steps beyond fogging. We don't ever recommend fogging. We don't want you to waste your money, because when you fog, unless the fog actually touches the surface, it's not going to affect it. So the electrostatic sprayer releases a fog of particles that are charged electronically, and it's at the opposite charge of the environment. So wherever it's close to a surface, it's going to be like that. It's going to attract, just like magnets attract. Far more effective.
I just want to say that I tried the Metaclean disinfectant this week for the first time, and it's amazing. It's really great stuff. I really love it. I've been mixing it with my Zep commercial quick clean disinfectant and with the enzyme cleaner, and the 3 of them are like a super whammy. It really helps.
Yeah, it's a very inexpensive. The Benefect is organic disinfectant based on thyme. You can spray it on countertops. You can eat it. I mean, it's thyme. So, but the Metaclean is a chemical. You do not want to spray it on countertops or have food or dishes or anything like that in the area that gets sprayed, unless you're going to wash them and clean them. But it's very economical. You dilute it like 1 to 8, I believe. So whereas the Benefect is used 1 to 1, it's ready to use.
Right, right. All right, moving right along to the next question. Let's see. Ozone. What is an ozone generator?
An ozone generator is a device that has, when it converts O2 to O3 is what it does. So ozone, O3 is a form, it's different than oxygen. It's O3 instead of O2. So the ozone actually deteriorates viruses, bacteria, fungi. It will kill any organism. So the idea is you don't want to stay around breathing it. So when you run the ozone generator, it comes with a timer. So you run it, you close off the room, get animals out, and you run it for a half hour, off for an hour, on for a half hour, comes with a timer, off for an hour, on for a half hour, and then you air out the room, and then you can occupy it. You do that for 21 days because if you're dealing with mites, some mites lay eggs that won't hatch for 21 days. So you want the complete life cycle. In fact, any of these things that you use for disinfecting, except for the antimicrobial, you need to use every day for at least 21 days in an area. It has to be disinfected every every day for 21 days.
Minimum.
And it doesn't hurt to go a few more in case you forgot and missed an area. So, that's what ozone is. And we have them in the store. It's a generator. You plug it in, and it creates ozone. You blow air over it, keep the plates cool, and it creates. Now, one ozone generator is good for about 500 square feet. That would be a 12 by 12 room is 144 square feet. So you think accordingly. If you have a larger room, then you use 2 generators and you space them apart. And if you have ductwork from air conditioning, heating or air conditioning, you need to also get it into your ductwork. That doesn't matter. It's the same for every disinfectant that you use. Whether it be ammonia, you could spray ammonia into the ductwork until you smell it come out the discharge vents. So ductworks have to be treated as well if you have them. What other questions do we have?
So, what was this question? What do you suggest when you have a spouse who doesn't believe you?
You know, we had a call devoted to that about a month ago.
Yeah, we did.
And it comes up time and time again. And it has been, unfortunately, the precipitating event of some divorces. So we don't have a pat answer. You can start with and hope you can buy a copy of the soft cover of the book from us and leave it lying around. Well, if they don't want to read it, leave it lying around, and maybe when you're not looking, they'll pick it up and read through it a little bit. I'm not a doctor, though. I don't have a PhD. I don't have an MD, so who am I? I'm just a lay person. So pick up a copy of Dr. Saverly's book, Morgellons, The Legitimization of a Disease. I got it! Give them that book. There are some papers that are in the blogs, and Robin has
I have a bunch of them
email
that I saved.
That you can show them.
Yes.
So, and the sad thing is some of these non-believers, they can also be carriers.
Right.
So it can be a real big political football, and it might, for some people, it's the only big football. Once they get on the diet and have their environment, they get rid of, they can get their lives back. But if you don't have a family that supports you, and it can be a big problem. And I don't have the answer other than couples therapy or family therapy.
Right, but then you have to have a therapist who believes you also.
That's right, because the therapist will be on the side of the doctors. Yeah, she's delusional.
Right. Right, and I know when I first was infested, my family didn't believe me, and they wanted me to go see a psychiatrist, and they wanted me to go see a neurologist, and they wanted me to go to multiple entomologists, and they just wouldn't stop. And I finally sent them Richard's book, Dr. Saveley's book, and like 4 papers from the NIH, and changed their minds. So,
but they're rational. There's
right,
some we know that there's about many people out there who are irrational. So yes, all I can say is good luck.
Right, and that's true. I'm looking for this other question. Okay, I don't know how. So this is from Lee. We did talk about Candida earlier in the call, so you could listen to that on the recording. And it's lufeneron that works with that best, and it does not cause Morgellons, in our opinion.
There's probably about 8 or 9 pages in Chapter 3 about Candida.
Right. So now, what about the GMO parts of this that is related to silicon hybrid organisms embedded with technologically advanced electronic systems that control the behavior of the organisms. I personally think that's a conspiracy theory.
Well, let's go back. I think maybe about maybe 5 or 6 months ago, the subject was how the cure for Morgellons. The cure. And here's the cure. Roll back time and get rid of glyphosate. Go back to the 90s and don't let them ever introduce that stupid, idiotic, antibiotic, herbal nightmare onto human beings or the plants that we eat and the animals that we eat. Get rid of glyphosate. It's a natural antibiotic. It destroys the gut biome. Socrates says all disease starts at the gut. Well, we can also add the mouth, but the gut's a good place. Get rid of GMOs, genetically modified organisms. They have no business. Instead of putting the pesticide on the plant or on the fruit, they put it in the seed. It gets in us. It kills us. You don't wash it off your food anymore. It's in the food. Get rid of the GMOs. They use the glyphosate so that their genetically modified crops don't have to be cultivated. Hey, you know, I grew up when we had horses and a plow that the horse pulled the plow and you cultivated. Or we had a tractor that went through the rows of what we planted and dug up the weeds. They don't cultivate anymore. They spray the stupid glyphosate that kills everything but the genetically modified organisms. So there's 2 things to roll back. Part of the cure for Morgellons. Roll back the time to the 1950s when they started doing chemtrails to control rain. They've gone from rain to AI, artificial intelligence.
That's crazy.
They dump these particles upon us that we inhale and breathe, crystal in nature.
Polonium and uranium and all that.
They dump this stuff on it, and it goes haywire in the body and can produce the crystalline form of Morgellons. And the YouTube video is attached to all of the protocols that I send out. And the antidote for Morgellons is boron, along with alkalizing your body. They suggest apple cider vinegar, which is fantastic, but if you have calendula, and basically, you know, lately, Robin, I'm seeing that it used to be, I'd say 5 years ago, 50% of the people were dealing with Morgellons and 50% were dealing with calendula. About a year or so ago, that gradually went up to 80% are dealing with both. Today, it seems to be closer to 95% are dealing with both calendula and Morgellons. So apple cider vinegar is out to consume until you're into stage 2, late stage 2, or into where Robin is going into stage 3, or where I am. In its place, you alkalize your body with our minerals, coral calcium. And if you're using the coral calcium minerals, please don't make the mistake that Barbara, our coach, made and put them in a metal container. They're highly corrosive. They will eat that metal container. Doesn't matter if it's stainless steel. Only use glass or Lexan, which is a very resistant plastic type of material. So alkalize your body and boron. One other thing we want to roll back, and we need to do this fast. We need to roll out and get rid of 5G. 5G is killing us. I hear about squirrels going crazy in Queens, New York. And I'm wondering, hey, have they released 5G there recently?
Probably.
Squirrels just biting people for no reason at all. Now, I'd suggest the first thing they do is look and see if they've released 5G in that neighborhood. 5G refers to a frequency, radio frequency, in which data can be transferred very fast, in which they can make your automobile run from a satellite and you can sleep while you're going to work. That's 5G. It downloads data real fast. They take away trees because trees inhibit the ability of 5G. So
you've been had it. You asked me what it was falling out of the window.
5G is the same frequencies that your body is operated by. And over the course of the last few weeks, you go back and look at the updates. Andrea from Chicago has been helping us out. She's been going through a series of 5G from the 5G summit and summarizing each of the experts that have produced videos in that summit. And there are so many implications for 5G. But one of them that she hasn't come upon yet, one video, is where this physiologist, maybe he's a doctor, finds that 5G opens the pathways from the bloodstream to the cell, the pathway between the bloodstream and to every cell of your body for calcium. Now, calcium is good. We all need calcium, but we don't need to flood ourselves with calcium. You put too much calcium in your cellular structure, and it screws up the endocrine system, the immune system. So you roll back those three things, or four things there, and you have the cure for Morgellons. And if you look at a series of videos that are also in the updates, if you go back about a year about GMOs, there was a series about GMOs, and the first one was with a Dr. Zach Bush, who has done a lot of research in terms of the incidence of various diseases, and he attributes the spiking of autism. Like, hey, when I was a kid, we never heard of autism. Now, it's almost like every 30 kids, there's at least one. And he predicts that this is going to be 1 out of 3 within a few years. Diabetes, running rampant. Again, glyphosate. And we already know about many forms of cancer. There's a, $30 billion that Monsanto put up for the cancer sufferers who have been dealing with glyphosate. Well, when the research finally comes out and they get good class action lawsuits, we're going to see this extended to autism, diabetes, heart disease, Lyme disease, Morgellons. So roll back the time, get rid of these things, and you will have Morgellons cured. And hopefully, finally, we got rid of all the idiocracy of this political climate that we've had for the last 4 years and can get something done.
I have another question from Shanine.
I'm sorry.
Which kind of relates to 5G. That was a great rant.
You all see me when I really get going.
She wants to know, can they live in the computer because she works from home and noticed something? And I think that relates to 5G because the electromagnetic waves attract parasites. And 5G, the waves are stronger, and it goes to Wi-Fi devices, laptops. So I would suggest, well, you can get shungite, which shungite rocks, which minimize the effects of 5G on your devices and on what they output. And you could also, what was it, old copper pennies? And there's a place,
yeah, there are a lot of things. Yeah, there are a lot of things that you could use. In fact, if you read the book, there's a case in there, not 5G, because that part of the book was written long before I think we even had 4G. But one lady found that all of her symptoms And we worked for months with a diet and disinfecting and everything, and nothing was working. And then she wrote me and said she found that her neighbor had some kind of an installation done. It wasn't properly grounded, and there was a lot of EMF coming from his installation. And once that was attended to, all of her symptoms went away. So EMF, whether it's 4G, 3G, or what, or just, I mean, some people are simply sensitive to the electrical wiring in their homes. 60 cycle second, a wave, for instance, of the 60 cycle second is the length of the United States, like 3,000 miles. So that's 60 hertz, 60 cycles per second. The wave of 5G is like millimeter or less. So you're looking at science closing in on us in a sense. So now the organisms themselves can be in computers. I mean, that's where you might want to spray your laptop or whatever lightly. If you spray it with too much liquid, it'll mess up the keys and they won't work. So the electrostatic sprayer I use on mine, not that I need it, but I had Chris come over the other day and do some work on it. And with this COVID thing, we want to be disinfected. So you can disinfect with with the electrostatic sprayer. It will go everywhere. So there's the actual possibility of them being in the mechanics, not in the wiring, but in around the surface. Because remember, if you have columbella, they jump off of you, and there's no reason they won't jump onto your laptop or your computer.
So what I did when things were really infested, I kept my my phone in a little Ziploc bag. My laptop, I had a big Ziploc bag over the monitor and one over the keyboard. It's not going to stop EMF, but and then you can sprinkle a little bit of menthol crystals in there with it. It will kill things in there, and I actually, for months, used my computer through a plastic bag on the keyboard because I could see them in there, but they couldn't get to me through the plastic. And the menthol crystals minimize them, and then I'd take the plastic off and wipe it down with, enzyme cleaner or MetaClean or one of the disinfectants, and then I'd put it back on. And I did that with because I have an iPad, I have a phone, I have a computer, and all of those things were infested, and I do a lot of work on the computer, so that made a big difference for me, just using Ziploc bags so that I could touch it without having them come back on my hands.
Great. So you have two issues. You have the environmental factor that they can actually be deposited onto your electronic devices with you in their proximity and then back onto you and reinfecting you. So we just talked about that. And then we have the impact that they are definitely more active for many people when they are around EMF. So when I remember for me, and it was curious, in the very beginning, I'd be fine. I'd come over and sit at my laptop, and I'd feel more activity. That is typical. And then when you get into near the end of stage 1 into stage 2, that kind of goes away, unless you do have are very sensitive to EMF, and there are many of us who are. And I think some squirrels in the Queens.
That's crazy. Okay, can you use disposable plastic seat covers? Honestly, I think they'd probably be too thin and wouldn't do much if they're not totally encasing something. But I don't know what you want to use them on.
I don't know. I think you basically want to, there's nothing wrong with putting a barrier if the chair is infected and you haven't been able to get them out, sitting on some kind of a barrier like that for a temporary basis, but dispose of them.
It's not going to do anything.
You still want to be working on that seat. So for a temporary, yes, but not for a long term. You still want to work on that seat and get them out of it.
Right. And I'll let you know I'm doing a number of things I have a couple of chairs and a couch that I'm hoping to save. I'm using Nuvon strips and I'm spraying, and I'm going to do a deep cleaning with steam, which is going to take forever. But once I do it, when I find out the results, I will definitely keep you posted about that.
Okay, any other questions?
I think we covered all the questions wait, there might be one more. Do you dilute the Metaclean? And it comes with directions. It is a concentrate. I think it comes either way, right?
No, it comes concentrate, and you do dilute it, and it does have the instructions. And as I said before, I think it's 1 part Metaclean to 8 parts water, or maybe 1 to 7. I don't know, but the instructions tell you. 1 to 7.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the Metaclean. I tried it a long time ago.
It has many of the ingredients that your Home Depot thing does, plus more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I combined the two, and I'm happy with the results I'm getting. So, so that is all the current. That was actually a lot of questions.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about stress a little bit and do our deep breathing exercise this week. And, you know, it's unlikely that anybody's on this call who has not gone through what Robin and I have to varying degrees, and that is depression, anxiety, uncertainty, confusion. Some are a little or a whole bunch of anger at the medical profession for these delusional diagnoses that they give us, upset maybe with our family for being unsupportive and not understanding. And these emotions, our goal here is to have you bring them to a safe place, this conference call. Share them if you like. Know that they're not just limited to you alone, but we all have gone through them. And convert that into inspiration, a call to action to get our lives back. They overwhelmed me, as they have many people. I was at the brink of ending my life, and because I just couldn't see living the next 30 years getting worse and worse and worse. I just couldn't see it. So these emotions, they create hormonal changes in our body. Add that to the regular stresses that we deal with every day in terms of work, keeping the bills paid, food on our tables, children fed and clothed, and it just becomes an enormous load. And the thing about this, you might think that these organisms have some kind of innate intelligence. They have learned, they know how to use that against you. They know how to use that against you. Because what happens is that when your bodies create these hormones it actually is a threat to your ego in a sense, your homeostatic level. And you have norepinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, And the thing about cortisol is that when it's released and it's not used up, see, these hormones are released to get you ready to fight or run. And there's nobody to fight, nobody to run from, and they're left circulating in your body. And the cortisol ends up having blood sugar, raises blood sugar in your bloodstream. And that in turn feeds the organism. So that's what I said. They figured out how to keep it going. And if you don't know this, and if you don't use some stress management techniques, you are just have one more problem that is more of a mountain to climb. So every week we do take a few minutes and we look at various stress management techniques, whether it might be telling a joke, and that's a good thing. Mental attitude is probably, how much would you say mental attitude contributes to this challenge of getting your life back?
A lot. I mean,
20%? 30?
I was going to say 70%.
70%.
For me, it was huge. You know, I think that when we can finally be aggressive and believe that we're going to make progress and say it out loud and hold that thought, I think that we start getting better.
If your head's not screwed on right, you're not going to get your life back.
Huh.
If the attitude's not there, you're not going to get your life back. If you let stress defeat you, you're not going to let you get your life back. Yeah. So it's real. I mean, so humor. Cousins wrote a book about the value of humor. Find a YouTube channel that has your genre of humor. Tune into it routinely. If you have a joke you'd like to share with us, we'll open the line. We like to laugh. We want you to laugh. Somebody said if you can't laugh at yourself, you're lost. You know. So now, managing stress to bring down the levels of stress. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go to a spa. You don't have to go to a doctor's office. You don't have to go to the drugstore. You just have to go here. That's all.
Right.
And remember that right here and right here. Well, I don't know if you can see down here. This is the answer right here. You're breathing. You're breathing. So we go through this breathing exercise, not every week because we alter it with the tapping exercise. And the breathing exercise is the first step in stress management. To turn on the catecholamines, to get rid of that fight or flight response, to allow yourself to come down, get rid of that blood sugar that the cortisol is dumped in so it doesn't dump anymore in your bloodstream. And, hey, the benefit, and we found this on several occasions, people who have had chronic hypertension found that by integrating this deep breathing exercise that Robin is going to take you through in a moment or two, actually, bye, hypertension, bye, because breathing is amazing. Has so many, I mean, we can get into chakras and we can get into all kinds of things through our breath. So this is just the start. And if you get excited about where deep breathing can take you, oh man, the sky is a limit and your world will be totally different. So let's go through deep breathing. I'm going to turn it over to Robin. She's going to have you do the deep breathing. When you breathe in, what do I want you to breathe in? Along with air, clean air, I hope. I want you to breathe in prosperity, balance, harmony, inspiration, creativity. You see, when we're stressed out, our IQ goes to the bottom, and there's no creativity. And Robin can share with you all day long how she, in addition to attending this program weekly, for the inspiration, also was creative. She's contributed to this program immensely. The things that she's discovered. She's dealt with more resistant, more aggravating, more hideous parasites than I had dealt with, and gotten her life back and learned a lot. So your IQ comes up, your creativity comes up, and you stop feeding the organisms, and you're healthier. So let's breathe in creativity, breathe in health, breathe in peace, exhale frustration, depression, anger, irritability, uncertainty. When do you know this nightmare is going to end? I didn't know it would ever end. Uncertainty, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. A lot of stress. Breathe out uncertainty. So go ahead, Robin.
All right, we're going to sit up straight, or you can stand. Your shoulders are going to be down. Your chin is up and your head is straight. We're going to breathe in from our diaphragm, which is in our belly, and our nose. We're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. When we breathe in, it's like a tire filling with air. Our tummy goes out. And then we use our stomach muscles to push the air out in a controlled exhale. And we're going to focus our thoughts and our imagery. It could be praying. And we're going to start with a clean exhale. And then we're going to breathe in through our nose for 5 seconds. 4, 5. And hold for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale for 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And breathe in hope. 2, 3. And joy for 5. And hold and smile. 3, 4, 5. And breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Imagine parasites fleeing. 9, 10. And breathe in excitement of getting your life back. 4, 5. And imagine walking barefoot on your wood floors. 4, 5. Breathe out. Imagine just things dissolving into nothingness through the walls, your yard, around your house. 9, 10. And breathe in peace. 3, 4, 5. And love, unconditional love. 4, 5. And breathe out. 2, 3. Strength to be aggressive. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And breathe in one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold on to that peace and that joy and that hope. And exhale, release that tension, release that stress, release that anxiety. 8, 9, 10. Take a cleansing breath. And if you have some water nearby, have a drink of water because it releases the toxins in your body. I do have one more question here. And then if anyone wants to say how the deep breathing made you feel, we'd love to hear it. Someone wants to know, can we eat sea moss, which is like a powdered seaweed?
I don't know.
I have, and I haven't had reactions, but I didn't do it right away in stage 1. So, you know, the diet, you have to try things and keep a diary. And try it and wait a couple of days and see if you get a reaction. And if you don't, then let us know.
Yeah, if you're in stage 1, you'll get the reaction within about 20 minutes. If you get into stage 2, it may take a couple of days before you react to it.
Right.
If it's a problem. Great. Thank you, Robin, for doing the deep breathing. This is something that you don't have to pay for. All you got to do is remember to do it. It's like we just gave you an automobile, but you got to remember to take the keys and start it and go and drive it.
Right. Right.
Any other questions? Anybody want to text in to Chris and come online?
No, nobody texted any questions for me, Richard.
All right, well, let's open up a couple of lines then. I think there were already a couple open. We can open up a few more.
We also want to hear from people about things you'd like to have be topics on the call, right?
Yes, absolutely. We want to hear about topics. You know, there are close to, I don't know, quite a few thousand people on the mailing list. And generally, we get maybe between 40 and 70 people on this call. And knowing from our personal experience how frustrating it is to deal with these organisms, we'd like to have that number higher because we want to be helpful. We want to support more and more people in getting their lives back. So if you have any ideas as to how we may change or what we might add or what we might do to raise the numbers of people participating, we'd love those suggestions as well. Maybe something we're doing just isn't right. Maybe we should skip the stress management. I don't think so, but
well, we asked that before. There were some people who didn't like it, and there was a bunch of people who really liked it. So
I know. So I guess you got to take the good with the bad.
From California, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Robin. Hi.
Hi.
Richard. I just want to say that I love tuning in on Sundays. It's really helping me a lot. Robin, I had a buddy. I finally got a buddy. And
Good.
me and my buddy together called you, and we had a 1-on-3.
Oh, right, we did. It was good. That was a good call.
And you told me some really good things. And like I said, unfortunately for a lot of us, when we reach Richard, we've spent thousands of dollars on nothing, you know. And I want to tell you that I did buy a machine called a Metafy Air. It was an air purifier. You did recommend that.
Yeah.
And it has made a big difference.
Oh, good.
That's helped out. I still have to put my aloe vera in my purse and in my shoes. And like I said, with money-wise, me and my buddy are working together to help each other and to, how do you say it, motivate each other. I know you guys were talking about a segment where buddies come on and they talk. That's going to probably be really needed. My buddy can't be here today. Last week I couldn't be there, and she updated me, so that's how we kind of work it. We talk all the time. We
great.
motivate each other. She's having problems with her family. I'm having problems with my family. I think I was telling you guys about my husband. Richard, you told me to tell my husband to read the book of Job. Actually, I read it. And I was like, okay, this sounds like my life. But not to that extreme. What happened is that he actually, what I didn't know, because every time I go home, I wouldn't be in the house for 5 minutes. So I went home on New Year's, and I decided not to dress. I wanted to feel what I could feel so I can know if there was a problem. But to my surprise, he had bought a Metafy machine, Robin, to purify the house.
Wow.
And I went home, and I actually spent 2 days and 2 nights in my house, and I haven't been able to even stay in my house for 2 years. My buddy hasn't been in her house in 4 years. When she goes to her house, she has a lot of activity on her ceiling. So, like I said, I think in the future, having a buddy, you know, she knows things that I do. Like I said, I'm the one that told you guys that I've been around so many pesticides that I probably could have killed myself twice. That's why I can't continue with the pesticides, but I need to know if that air purifier worked. And the same one that my husband bought, which is the Medify Air, I was actually able to spend 2 nights in my house. And
That's
people who
great.
knew that I was home was like, "Are you kidding me? She's home." So that's going to make a big difference in my life. Again, staying on the diet, even the breathing exercises, but I even got up and just took a walk. I told you guys I have been, I'm very creative, and when this happened to me, I was so numb and I couldn't even think for myself. I'm being very creative. I even juiced some aloe vera and put it all in my hair. I put it all on the floor. Anything it makes me feel good to know that I can think again. So
That's
again, like I
great.
said, I think you guys should have a segment where the buddies come on and talk, or enforce that somebody have a buddy, because when you're alone, you're alone. Your family, your friends, your neighbors, everybody see you doing weird stuff. They don't know what you're doing. They question it, but we know, and if we have a buddy, your buddy will know, and you will have somebody to talk to just, iron it out or fix it, or, make it a better day. So that's what I wanted to say, and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing.
Yes, buddies can be very powerful. And thanks for that testament. I think it's an excellent idea to have a segment where we can, in fact, I was thinking about doing a whole program about the value of buddy system, but a segment definitely would be good. And yeah, buddies can be empowering, like these buddies are, or they could be, nothing's working for me. I don't know what's going to happen. I think I'm going to die today. Hey, we don't want that kind of buddies. We're here for inspiration. So we're here for buddies to support each other, to lift each other up by the bootstraps and win this war. It is a war. Great. Anyone else like to share? We'll open up a few more lines, Chris.
All lines are open now, right now.
Okay. Anybody
Hello?
can share. Yes.
Okay. I just tried the body wash, and I absolutely had some relief. My doctor thought I was crazy, and and I even went to the dentist, the eye doctor, and just was traveling around because I didn't know what was happening till my daughter and I went online and we found y'all. And so what I want to know is how do I order? The same place that I ordered the soap from, the body wash from? Is that your store?
Well, our store, you can get to it by simply typing again www.parasite store, parasitestore.com.
Okay. I got mine from, my cat was infected with tapeworm, and he accidentally, when he jumped down, caught his paw in my wrist and put his claw out, and it went straight in my wrist. And the doctor put me on, I'm very small, and he put me on powerful antibiotics for 10 days. And it did clear up that, but all of a sudden I was having these crazy symptoms, in my body. And he said, nothing's wrong with you. We've done every test in the world, and all of a sudden I've got lesions. My legs are bleeding. It's just horrible. In your eyes and all the things you guys have talked about. So it's great to be able to share. I'm a motivator and a nutritionist, and this happened to me, but I'm learning a lot about changing my diet. My husband died suddenly, and we lost my grandson last year. So I had two sudden things happen that were traumatic, and I'm such a I'm a motivator, so I'm not used to that. I'm used to being, so happy-go-lucky. So I didn't take time to grieve properly. So I thank you for this, and it has helped me a lot today, and I intend to find out more about the what to eat. I'm trying to get that cat
down pat right now.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
book?
When we're talking about stress, you do have a book in the diet?
No.
Oh, you won't have any information from us. So are you on the mailing list?
That would be great.
All right. Well, how did you learn about this program today?
Actually, I ordered some of the body wash.
Yes.
And they sent me I got a text from y'all. I mean, it was on my computer.
All right. Send that email back.
An email.
Yeah, usually you would be on the mailing list, but somehow that didn't happen. So send that email back to me and request that you be put on the mailing list, and then you'll get the book, the diet, and everything. But when we're looking at stress, which was what we talked about a bit earlier, you being a professional, I don't know if you remember or heard of two Navy psychologists. Their names were Holmes and Ray. Many years ago, they put together what's called a Holmes-Ray stress test. And if you look at the things that happened to you within the last 6 months, you would probably have scored over 600. I mean, they have things like if you celebrated Christmas, that might be worth 10 points. If you got married, that might be worth 35 or 50 points. If you lost somebody, that's worth maybe about 300 points. And what they find is that if you scored over like 300 points, your chances of coming down with a serious life-threatening disease is like 80%. So that's how stress impacts us every day. And you add Morgellons to it than these skin parasites, and we're over the top. So it's important. And email me. I'll get you the book. I'll get you the diet. Everything that you need. Information here is always free. Get you into the program. Get your life back. And welcome you to be one of our coaches.
Thank you. That sounds wonderful. You know, just a complete blessing. Yeah, that's good because you know I'm getting my life back, and I will, and I've been praying for my pathway, and it's like this door opened this afternoon. It's just strange. I usually don't go online on Sunday. And I got the email, and I was able to come on late. But I did hear a lot of great information, and, you know, I'm easily to whatever I need to change. I just need to know, you know, and
what it is.
And order for things that are wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone who has come into this program has worked their asses off. Done so much, done this, done that, hard work, day in, day out to get their lives back, and have gotten nowhere. But the good news is you now know what to do. You're going to work, but it's going to produce. It's going to bring in benefits. It's going to pay you back for the work that you put in.
So the email I got about the conference call, that's you then? I can
just return it to me. It comes right back to me. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Keep coming in.
Okay.
Keep coming
thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else like to share?
I have a question, Richard. This is Maria in San Antonio. When we were talking about Garcillin and colloidal silver, someone mentioned not to use something with colloidal silver because of high aluminum content in it. What was that contained aluminum? I would like to stay away from it.
Antiperspirants. Colloidal silver has nothing in it but silver, pure silver. So they have nothing together. But antiperspirants have aluminum in it. So you don't want to use antiperspirants. You want to use deodorant. You can use colloidal silver instead of deodorant. You can spray your underarms with colloidal silver.
I don't use colloidal silver, but I want to find out what that stuff is that has aluminum in it. And I'm not understanding the words that you are
using.
Any
antiperspirant.
Oh,
Any deodorant.
oh, okay. I know that already, and I don't use that stuff. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to share or ask a question?
What is the website for the nitin perm for? Because I have 2 cats, and that's how I got this. And I know that they're doing fine eating, but they have it. They have the symptoms.
There are a couple of websites, but the one that I used was littlecitydogs.com. But
Okay.
if you just do a search for the nitin pyrin, it'll come up with a few websites.
Okay, I appreciate that because I hate to give up my little pet.
Right.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to share, ask a question? Anybody up for a song? How about some happy cells? Robin, you up to a happy cell song?
Sure.
Robin is our resident musician, and she is a phenomenal musician.
Thank you, Richard.
Hey, this is Desiree from the South.
Yes.
Yep.
I'd like to know if I could possibly have someone later text me or call me to coach me on how to get on that website. I need to buy some of these products. I'm doing the diet, and I'm at my wit's end.
Did you complete the questionnaire, Desiree?
I'm going to do that in the morning because I've been that messed up with this.
Okay.
Well,
When you complete,
I wanted to know, should I get off? Should I treat myself with the Invectamin? They're giving me parasitic stuff in treatment, and it makes me really ill.
well, we're not medical doctors, and we're not
I know,
able.
but
Yeah, we
I
can't
didn't
tell
take
you.
it because I already did it twice. I'm enough.
Okay.
And I think that now I've understood what you said. You did have some good points. I didn't follow the diet. I went ahead and had that coconut cream pie.
Oh, so good.
Oh.
You're making me hungry.
You think it's funny, but I had 2 of them on my mouth this morning, and I washed my face with lavender and sugar scrub. And I've figured out that these smells they don't like. Now, I'm starting to dry out. He had me on doxycycline. I'm going to end up having to stop that. It dried up all the wounds. But now I'm to the point where I need to clean the clothes and do the house. And my mom has so many things, so we're going to fill up the car every day and then infest the car. I'm thinking ahead of time, and I'm trying not to mentally break down and stress. So I have to take this in little bits.
Right. And just remember, you can't do things one time. You're going to need to do them over and over daily.
Oh, I've been daily doing things.
Yeah, good.
I have
good.
to watch. I figured out. Cleaned out the laundry room and I sprayed ammonia today. And
this is totally overwhelming for most people. Once you learn about my book and learn about what to do, it's so overwhelming. And
I'm ready to purchase the book. So have Ethel call me.
Yeah, one day at a time. Keep notes. Write notes.
I bought a book and I took notes tonight. All those products you mentioned. I need to purchase a few of them, and I need the book because part 2.
I think you have to call the store. Ethel's our greeting coach, but I don't think she sells.
Okay.
When you complete the questionnaire, you'll get back a complete set of recommendations with links that actually go into the store for the various products. Okay.
Okay. Maybe somebody could send me that, or I got to go back in, or is there a way I can pull it up? I should go on my computer and do it, huh?
Well, just send any email back to me and ask for the questionnaire, and I'll send it right out. I mean, we're going to be finishing up here in about 15 minutes or so, and you'll have it within the hour.
And when the recording stops, we share the coach's information so you can reach out to any of us coaches.
Okay.
Yeah, this program is on YouTube, but it is a working program for the people who have come into the program. I think one of the things we're going to do, Robin, is we're going to do an orientation program with you and I, and have some people call in, and we're going to have that program just be available for all the new people coming into the program for orientation.
That's a great idea.
Anyone else like to share or ask a question?
Well, is the Surface Guard 90 antibacterial, is that in your store or is that in the store?
Yes, it's in the store. There's a section for parasites. There's a and when you go into the section for parasites, there's a section for disinfection.
You mean like in your store?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. When I go online. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else like to share or ask a question?
I
have a question. Can
Hello?
you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, this is Rose. I'm actually a buddy with Carrie, which is really, really great. She has helped me, and I feel like she's in a better place than I am. I'm the one that's been not in my house for 4 years. So
Hi, buddy.
I just want to say that that's a great thing to have. Anybody who's the family's not believing in them. And I also want to ask you that when I go to, I know you're not a doctor, but when I go to my sister's house, and she has 3 pets, I get there and I start feeling them in the carpet. Is it because I have them in my skin already, or because there's something there?
Probably both.
Definitely both.
Okay, because I just get it goes crazy. I'm like almost like they're attacking me everywhere, and I feel so miserable the next 3 days.
Well, when you get home, you should instantly take a bath and a shower, wash your clothes, and put creams and stuff on your body.
And you know, I would avoid going places where you get attacked like that unless you're dressed in a hazmat suit.
Okay.
Because it's only going to slow progress down.
Right.
So
And
is it like starting all over again?
What?
Is it like starting all over again? Because I had like...
Yeah, every time you expose yourself to that, it's like starting all over again. So, I'm serious about the hazmat suit. With COVID around, nobody will give you a second glance.
So where do you purchase those?
eBay. You can just search for hazmat suit. They weren't available back in March and April, but they should be available now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Keep coming back. We're here to support you. Anyone else like to share before Robin does her Happy Cell song? Okay, Robin.
Okay. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know this song by now. It's to the tune of Mama's Little Children Love Shortbread, and I'll sing it through once, and then feel free to join me. And here we go, okay? All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. Here we go. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. All my cells are healthy and happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well. My cells are healthy and my cells are happy. My cells are healthy and happy and well.
All right. Now, when you're doing your deep breathing, you can sing that song in your head. And as you're doing your deep breathing and singing that song in your head or using some affirmation, pound on your chest. That's neurolinguistic.
Mm.
So put those three together. Okay, anyone else like to share or ask a question before we stop the recording and give out phone numbers? Okay, why don't we do the drawing before we stop the? Let's do the drawing.
Yeah, the last 4 digits is 3015.
If 3015 is the last 4 digits of your phone number, you're the winner of either a signed copy of the 10th revision of my book or $20 credit in the store. Are you still on the call?
Yes, I'm here.
You're here. You're the winner.
Oh my God, that's wonderful!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Thank you.
So stay on, and Chris will get your information.
Okay.
I want to thank Robin, my co-host. I want to thank Chris. I want to thank Ethel. I want to our breeding coach. I want to thank Barbara, our herbalist. And by the way, we should be coming out hopefully within a week or two with some of her new formula to reduce the dopamine uptake in the brain, which could be tremendous. We'll find out. And Sandra, our other coach, for being with us and contributing to the program and all of our lives. So thank you. I love you all. Keep coming back to the program. And the recording can stop.